Before our regularly scheduled video, I want to give a special shout out. Special thanks to Matt McDowell of Colorado Springs for his 20 years of service to the Marine Corps and U.S. Army with 8 deployments overseas.
Righteous.
Matt, I wish you the best of luck in your next adventure and your upcoming retirement. Thank you for your support and service, and may all your roles be 20s. And now, on with the show. I'm going to give you a choice. Take the blue pill and believe what you want to believe. Take the red pill and we'll see how deep the rabbit hole goes, and your D&D game will never be the same. Strap in for Dungeon Craft. Welcome to Dungeon Craft. I'm Professor DM, and this channel is about all things tabletop role-playing games.
Like, subscribe, and sign up for the Deathbringer RPG newsletter. And check out Deathbringer's Dungeon, where you can get cool vintage games like Manzanzibar, Marzipan, Maz Banana. I still can't say it.
Have you decided yet what pill you're going to take? If you take the red pill, your understanding of D&D is about to get several levels deeper. And your game will potentially get much faster because I'm going to eliminate much of the number crunching that slows the game at higher levels. And if you're a new game master thinking game mastering and hesitating, it's probably because you're afraid you don't know the rules and are afraid of getting the numbers wrong. And I'm going to eliminate that fear today. These secrets apply to any D20 based RPG. And for my younger viewers, if you want to be a Giga Chad DM, take it from an OG, because I'm giving up all the deets straight up, no cap. So be all ears, and you'll be bussin'.
What are you doing?
Views are down. I'm trying to appeal to a younger demographic.
That won't help.
Anyway, I have to caution you, this may impact your enjoyment of the game. Once you see how the sausage is made, you're never going to see D&D the same way again. 30 years ago, I had the privilege of playing Dungeons & Dragons with Tracy Hickman at GenCon at his Killer Breakfast event. And I asked him, Mr. Hickman, are we going to use the new 2nd edition rules? And I'll never forget his answer. He said, 2nd edition? We don't need no stinking 2nd edition. And he proceeded to run the game off the top of his head. It was like, the dragon breathes on, you roll an 18. The demon disintegrates, you roll a 17. And he didn't have any books or charts or a Game Master screen. He didn't even pause. And for years I wondered how he did that, until he published this book, Tracy and Curtis Hickman's XDM Extreme Dungeon Mastery. On page 138 of that book, there's a sidebar called XDM Secret for Your Eyes Only. It all comes down to rolling against only 20 numbers. And the gist of it is, you could spend all day adding modifiers and consulting charts, but whether a character succeeds all comes down to a single die roll, and the die can only respond with 20 possible numbers. And the finer the resolution of the game system, the more unplayable it becomes. In other words, the more detailed the modifiers, the slower the game. This is one of the reasons D&D slows down at higher levels, but it doesn't have to. Join me in a thought experiment. For the purpose of this experiment, 1 to 2 points on this die isn't going to make a statistical difference. Every point is just 5%. That means if your difficulty class or your target number is within 1 to 2 points, it's only going to make a difference 1 out of every 10 or 20 rolls. Forget all the modifiers. Let's just talk the face of the die. What do you have to roll on this die for your character to succeed? Typically, 6 to 13. What is the average monster's armor class? According to AI, it's 13 plus half the monster's challenge rating. For the purpose of this experiment, let's round up to 14. What's the average to hit bonus for a first level character? According to AI, it's +4 or +5. A +2 or +3 from your strength or dexterity bonus, and your first level proficiency bonus of +2. But who are we kidding? Every player is going to optimize their character, and they're going to get a +4 to hit. Add the proficiency bonus to that, you get +6. Subtract it from 14, and you get a target number of 8. That's what you actually need to roll on this die, right in the sweet spot. Now, let's say your character is a 10th level fighter. Their proficiency bonus would be +4. That would mean you have to roll a 6 or better. Again, right in the sweet spot. If that same 10th level fighter is facing off against a red dragon with armor class 19, they need to roll an 11, still within the 6 to 13 range. Rolling a 6 to 8 in combat is satisfying. It gives your character a 60 to 70% chance of success, and that feels right. You succeed more often than you fail, but you're still failing once in a while. Because if the players always succeeded, the game would become boring. D&D is built to keep you in the 6 to 13 sweet spot. Now you're saying, that's interesting, Professor, but you're not telling me anything I didn't know. Well, I'm going to tell you the mind-blowing part in just a second, but first, a word from our sponsor, Tailspire.
Deathbringer here. I heard a human once wept for there were no more worlds to conquer. Fool! He should have grabbed his gods by the throat and made them build him a new world with Tailspire. Dun 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 da. That makes no sense to me.
You're supposed to do it Beavis and Butthead style.
What is a Beavis?
Okay, we're back, and hold on to the top of your skull. Players live to level up, and part of their fun is seeing their character improve. But it's all an illusion. Characters never really improve. It's all a fugazi.
Fugazi, it's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust.
As characters gain levels, they get more bonuses and more math rocks to roll for damage. But the monsters get commensurately more powerful too. At first level you fight goblins, second level orcs, third level hobgoblins, then gnolls and ogres and trolls and giants, up the monster food chain until you're face to face with ancient red dragons. But after all the number crunching, you're going to discover that no matter what the level of the character is, the actual number you need to roll is between 6 and 13.
Like and subscribe. It really helps the channel.
But Professor, that's not true. My 10th level character can kill orcs easier. Yes, absolutely. And romp encounters against hordes of low-level monsters can be a lot of fun. But eventually your game master is going to have to put you up against something more formidable. And to hit that monster, you're going to need to roll an 11 to 13. I know some people in the comments are saying they refuse to believe it. They're going, la 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 la. You don't know what you're talking about. I have met or played D&D with Tracy Hickman, Gary Gygax, Wolfgang Bauer, Jonathan Tweet, and I just had Mike Merles on my show. And they can confirm, well, Gary can't, but everyone else can confirm that what I'm saying is the truth. This is my all-level DC chart for all tasks. Just ask, is the character highly skilled, somewhat skilled, or unskilled? Highly skilled is something that your character would be proficient in, like climbing, picking locks, or a sneak attack for a rogue, or killing stuff if you're a fighter or barbarian. If you're a highly skilled barbarian, minion level orcs are 6+ to hit. An elite leader type orc is 8 or better, and the boss orc is 12 or better. Instead of having your players consult their character sheets every time they make a roll, or recalculate them because they're using a dagger instead of the mace in which they're proficient, just tell them what they need to roll. This chart is for picking a lock, knocking down a door, saving throws, everything you can imagine. A highly skilled rogue picking a simple lock, 6. A medium lock, 8. The ultimate lock, 12. A ranger with a high constitution needs to save against a giant spider's venom, 6. So what about monsters? I call this technique a quick sort. Instead of rolling for every individual orc one at a time, I just toss a fistful of d20s. Anything 15 or lower is a miss, everything 16 or higher is a hit. And then I just assign average monster damage. Most frontline fighters have an armor class of 18 or 19. Rogues don't wear heavy armor, but they have a higher dexterity to compensate. Wizards have shield spell. In every case, you need a 16 or better to hit. And commenters will say, well, if you just do that, you're giving the Game Master tremendous power, and then it's all arbitrary. The whole game is arbitrary. Why is an orc armor class 13? Because someone made it up. Orcs aren't real. No one is an expert on orcs. Brands and years of marketing have imprinted the idea in players' heads that published games are legit, that the rules are fine-tuned and rigorously play-tested by experts in lab coats, that homebrew rules are just made up, and game masters can't be trusted because they might be insane and ruin the whole game. We're not doing a water landing with a 747 here. It's an elf game. Just pick a target number. Now, I'm not saying you should never have a target number of 18, 19, or 20. Something like a Dragon's Breath has a DC of 21. Most high-level characters have a dexterity bonus of +3. You figure 18 or above, but you don't have to stop and overanalyze it. Target numbers of 18 and higher should be reserved for only the most difficult tasks, and I really recommend you not put armor classes that high because it becomes frustrating to hit the monster. Better to lower the armor class and give the monster more hit points so every player feels like they got a piece of him. And now for the second secret. This one comes to me from Jonathan Tweet, one of the designers of 3rd edition and the 13th Age. He told me that when designers at Wizards of the Coast want to playtest mechanics, they don't roll out individual monster damage. Most of the time, they just use the average monster damage, which is how that statistic ended up in a D&D stat block. If my players are facing hordes of orc infantry, I just assign the average monster damage. See, when you roll damage dice and do your calculations behind a screen, your players are just sitting passively, waiting for you to do math in your head. You may not think it's that long as the game master because you're actively engaged, but I'm telling you, as a player, I am sitting there in agony as you figure out, is the orc causing 10 points of damage or 11? It just doesn't matter.
It just doesn't matter! It just doesn't matter!
Using average damage speeds the game and allows you to focus on the narration of the action. As in, you block it with your shield, you jump to the side, but the orc clubs you in the skull for 5 points of damage. Next round, you're up. But Professor, I'm a DM, I like rolling dice too. So do I. Rolling dice is fun. Use average monster damage for the minions. When it comes to boss fights, get a bunch of those damage dice and boom, right out in front of everyone. That way, instead of waiting for a result, the players can see the result. They'll be leaning over to see what you rolled. Now they're actively engaged instead of just passively waiting for a result. Roll it in public. Your players know that you're not pulling any punches and you're not trying to kill them. You don't kill characters. Dice kill characters. Now, should you tell your players these secrets? No! It could destroy their enjoyment of the game. It's like knowing how a magic trick was done or working at a haunted house. Once you do that, it's very tough to be scared again. So keep these secrets on the down low from your players, but by all means share this video with any other Dungeon Master you think would find it interesting. And share your comments and tips below. Also below you'll find links to my Patreon, where you get access to my notebook, private Discord, and bonus video content, including my full interview with Mike Merles. And sign up for the Deathbringer newsletter. And this just in, I have some events coming up at GenCon this year, including a Deathbringer sneak peek at Saturday at 3 p.m., less exposition, more demolition, Thursday at 2 p.m., how to run a kick-ass YouTube channel, Saturday 11 a.m., and Conqueror Worm, Thursday at 9 a.m. So I'm looking forward to meeting you, and I will be announcing new events as they come up. Thanks for spending this time with me. I'll see you soon, and until then, may all your rolls be 20. For more tips on how to rizz up your game, click on these videos.
Please stop doing that.
Aw.